and sweet. 2 announcements. If you took the PSAT with me for the trial SAT, PSAT, I have the access code for you to get on to the SAT preparation. So come by my office and pick up that code from me. And second, we're sponsoring a fair, a college fair for the universities from the UK. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the universities in the UK, in Britain, Northern Ireland, or Scotland, on March 5th at Carmel High School, it's from 6 to 8. There'll be a fair that you're invited to.
So there's a volunteering opportunity at Martin Luther King Jr. School in Seaside this Thursday, 4:30 to 7, and it's Helping the Family Reading Night. There's going to be flyers in the service bulletin board.
So there's a super enthusiastic 2nd grade teacher who's putting this on, and they need some extra help with that. That's just what the flyers look like. Second, there's a beach cleanup, dune restoration in Carmel on February 28th. And this flyer also has a March 14th and April 11th environmental announcement on their service opportunity. And a person from the Monterey Arts Council who teaches art at elementary schools is interested in having some assistants volunteer with her at some elementary schools during spring break. Please see me and I'll put you in contact with her. Her name is Anne Green. The PG Museum of Natural History is looking for docents and store positions. It may not sound too exciting to volunteer in a museum, but if you're interested in science or display or artwork or things like that, you can take on all kinds of responsibilities you might not think of. And another service opportunity, please come on up.
So for my service project and Laura's 20% project, I forgot. Okay. We're collecting plastic bags and recycling them into sleeping mats for homeless people.
Like this one.
Right on.
And each mat takes between 500 and 700 bags. So we're going to start collecting plastic bags here at York. We're going to have a bin in the Commons Breezeway area. So if you could bring bags, that'd be great. Thank you.
Right on. As you know, I assume you noticed, the seating has turned sideways, and that's, of course, because we had our inaugural Winter Arts and Science Festival this weekend. Those of you who were part of the audience, and I hope that was most of you, enjoyed great music in here and in the gym, the opportunity to look at some great art, and a little preview of the science fair projects that we're also eager to learn more about. And if you didn't come, you missed it. I'm sorry that you missed it, because it was a great afternoon and a great event. And to all of you who performed, all the musicians, and also, of course, to all the artists and to the scientists, congratulations. It was a really impressive afternoon and part of the magic of York School. So thank you.
Reminder, TEDx York School is going to be April 1st. You'll find signs like these around campus if you would like to apply to attend. Go to this link that's posted here. I could give you one of these. I'm also looking for some people to help with video production. If you're interested in interning with our professional video service, see me and I'll hook you up with them. And then one more announcement. Oh yeah, I'm putting together a video to highlight the Commons area for the auction that's coming up. And you're going to see a drone fly over the Commons. I promise it's not weaponized. But what would be really cool is if you all played it cool and like didn't wave at it and just kind of went along your normal way, so it didn't look like a ton of people staring at this weird thing. Alright? But if you are really interested in this thing and you want to stare at it, just see me and I'll show you how it works and everything like that. Thanks.
Thank you. So, first of all, I want to remind all the aspiring playwrights, students, and teachers and parents who might be watching this that the deadline to submit your 10-minute one-act play for the Spring Fine Arts Festival is the day we come back from spring break, which I believe is March 24th.
But the main thing, the real reason I'm up here, is to tell you that our winter play, Dancing at Lunasa, opens this Thursday. The reservation site is open at york.org. It's a really, really wonderful play. If you've been in to see the set, you'll see it's very realistic, which is kind of a departure for us. It's funny, but it's also sad. It takes place in the 1930s in a cottage in Ireland, and it's 5 sisters and their brother and a child. And I would really love to see as many of you there as possible. Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights at 7:30 and Sunday at 2 o'clock. There are 20 students involved in this production, and without you, we don't have a show. So please, 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 come and see Dancing at Lunasa.
I'm back. Seniors, please do not forget that the end of February is your deadline to meet your graduation requirement of 10 hours of service for your senior year. Many of you did that during your junior year. Congratulations. If you haven't finished it up, or you don't know if you have, you can check in Naviance where you keep track of what you've turned in and what you haven't. So look there first. Thank you.
When I see the hands of all the juniors. Hands of the juniors. Hands up. Hands up. Left hand like this. Right hand like that. Chapel. Monday at 3 with me and Miss Maston. See you today.
So I'd like to see all the girls varsity soccer players up here. Just to let you know, while they're making their way up, we just finished the winter sports program. We had some really great experiences and performances by York athletes. We had about 80 people out for sports over the winter season. But this group of young ladies did a superlative job, and we need to give them a huge round of applause because they were co-league champions of the Coastal Division of the Mission Trail Athletic League. They beat both a fine Anzar team and a Pacific Collegiate team, as well as tying them the second time. And they are now going to get a banner in the gym for the first time since 1999. So let's give them a
You EFers, Italy and Greece bound, 2 weeks from Thursday. Don't forget, this Thursday evening, 6 o'clock in here, you and or your parents, this will be the final meeting. This will talk about transportation. This will talk about everything else. Hopefully you have the email. You've gone and clicked on and seen the 4 hotels and the cruise boat. 16 of you still have to turn in the 3 forms, the med forms, the passport page photo, and the check for $93. On another note, Classical Honor Society will meet this lunch in my room. We are planning the induction for next week's assembly, okay? Thank you.
I've been going through something called an existential crisis. This is basically when you question whether or not life has any meaning. I mean, most of the time I tell myself, of course life has meaning, but then I start to wonder what it actually is. When I tell people about my problem, they simply say, the meaning of life is to experience as many things as life has to offer you, or to be as happy as possible, or leave behind some sort of amazing legacy. I mean, I know that's supposed to help me, but instead it makes me feel like I've wasted the last 15 years of my life not working towards anything important. I then think about other people my age who know exactly what they want to do with their life, whether it's to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a therapist. I think about, well, all the amazing things I could do with this one short life. However, then I also begin to worry if anything I choose is worthy of spending an entire lifetime on. All this usually happens when I'm sitting alone at home, not doing anything important. I'll spend hours on YouTube, obsessively following the lives of people who don't even know my name. Then I'll just sort of look up from my laptop and realize how much time I've spent not doing anything important. Then I realize, you know what, nothing's actually worth doing because we're all going to die someday. I mean, death is inevitable. Like, you can't escape it. Then I think about, wow, if I die tomorrow, then I'll have done nothing except for watching TV series after TV series. That's when I usually just kind of sit there and stare at a wall for a while. or I'll kind of just talk to one of my friends and bother them with my thoughts. Eventually I think to myself, I guess I should do something productive, so that one day when I'm about to die, I can look back and say, at least I tried. The lesson I've learned from these existential crises is that I just need to keep moving forward instead of staying in the same miserable place. So that one day I will have fulfilled my purpose in life, hopefully, and I can be proud of what I've done.
The long, piercing screech of the garage door closing behind me was the worst part. The fluorescent lighting from the house disappeared, and my descent into darkness began. The journey into the unknown. As Neil Armstrong once said, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. What was I doing? I was taking out the trash. At 11 o'clock p.m., I was finally falling asleep. I had 3 big quizzes the next day. Suddenly, my door burst open and light flooded in. "You forgot to take the trash out," my dad grumbled. Still half asleep, I stepped out into the eerie night, turned my phone's flashlight on, and trudged to the trash bin. It rumbled as I began to pull it down the long, steep driveway. Suddenly, everything turned black. Was I blind? No. Was I dead? No. Only my phone. I tripped over a large rock and scraped my knee against a broken branch as I fell, and I lost control of the trash bin. From the ground, I could hear the thud, crunch, and crash of the trash bin and the trash tumbling down the long, steep driveway. After a few seconds, I became petrified with fear, because a few days ago, my friend and I had discovered a bobcat prowling around my house, and we decided to taunt it from the safety of my house. And 2, because of the glare my father would give me after realizing I hadn't finished a chore, and I wasn't sure which one was scarier. Then suddenly, I remember what to do in emergency first aid situations. It wasn't exactly the same thing, but I sculpted the procedures to fit the task at hand. First, I assessed the situation. I realized that I couldn't finish a chore if I wasn't physically or mentally ready. So I told myself, toughen up. Then, using the faint moonlight as my guide, I could barely make out a long path of flattened grass and a trail of trash in the center of it. I followed it and limped to the end of the trail, where the trash bin, which I imagined was the victim, lay on its side. I propped it up, scooped up the trash, and put the innards, the trash, back inside the trash bin, and sealed the wound by closing the lid. I used my hand as my guide, and I felt my way back to the trail, and recognized where I needed to leave the trash bin nearby. In retrospect, I realized that I should have just done the chore while it was still bright outside. But the main thing I took away from this experience was that the best way to deal with fear or danger is exactly what Boy Scouts has taught me the last 8 years. Be prepared. This experience was not life-threatening, but it taught me that when fear arrives, when it's least expected, the best way to deal with the situation is by being mentally prepared to deal with the unpredictable. While I can't predict everything, I am able to deal with whatever life throws at me to the best of my ability. And I look forward to making my own path, hopefully with less damage than the trash bin, as I overcome obstacles and challenges I meet down the road.
You know what's better than taking out the trash or working on AP calculus homework or doing anything on a Saturday? No, yeah, actually you're right. Photography club, listener. So this Saturday, photography club will venture up to San Francisco. And if you want to come, I suggest you bring your permission slip to Sensei. And money, yeah, $20. It ain't free.
So seniors, we sent an email to all of your school emails, so please check if you got it. If you did not, let us know. There's a lot of important information there regarding senior pages and portraits and superlatives and things like that when they're due, and the format of everything. Yeah, thanks.
Girls soccer, please meet at the flagpole right after break.
Cool, go to class.